Do you want us to follow along on the YouTube at the same time, or should we look at Zoom?
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Rachel, that's up to you. If you want to use, I think that was Rachel that said it. If you want to use Zoom, or if you want to, you're better off on Zoom, because if you're looking at the YouTube, there's a delay. So hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My husband said I do not need to introduce myself in every video, but I seem to have to, or seem to want to. So my name is Kasie Oswald, and I work for VIPKid, and I've got a bunch of my friends together today to talk about some different companies. So if you guys could introduce yourselves and tell what company you're going to talk about today while I get the live chat up on YouTube. Rachel, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Rachel Schwinghammer. I work for a couple ESL companies. It's VIPKid, Outschool, and Itutor.
And today you're going to talk about which
and today I'm talking about Itutor. So Itutor.com is the bomb. Help y'all remember it, not Itutor group. But so thank you for having us.
Thank you. And since you taught me the Itutor.com is the bomb, now I remember which one you work for. So.
Yay!
Not to be confused with the other. So we'll have to have Kim on another time to talk about that one. So, okay, Tamara.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tamara, and I work for 2 ESL. I work for VIPKid and Zebra English. And I started with Outschool. I've done a few classes on Outschool, and then Splashlearn, and Splashlearn is what I'm going to talk about today. So
yes, I'm super excited to hear about it. Seems like the new upcoming booming thing. So
right.
Okay, Tess.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Tess. So I'm going to be talking about Wales English today, which is where I work, and I only work for Wales, so nothing else from me.
And it is nighttime, and she is.
Can you tell? I've got all the lights on, and it's dark and shadows.
I think it's brighter than you're thinking it is right now.
Really?
I think so.
You can see me. I just feel like you guys are all in the lovely daytime, and it's sort of like 9 here.
It is daytime. I don't know how about lovely it is out here right now.
Yeah, you got storms.
We just had a storm roll through, so. Okay,
nice.
Melissa.
Hey guys, my name's Melissa, and I work for 3 companies. I work for VIPKid, Outschool, and GoGoKid. And today I'm going to be talking to you about GoGoKid.
Great. And we will have Jillian joining us in just a little bit. I know she's got a couple of companies as well. She will be talking about Outschool and Palfish today. So, all right, well, let's get started. So, because you know I love to talk. Those of you in the chat box, please put questions in all capital letters so that I know you are asking us some questions. And if I'm looking straight down, I have my questions and some notes for them. If I'm looking over here, this is the live chat. So I see what you're saying on my iPad. So multitasking going on, but you've got this. Okay, Rachel, can you go first about itutor.com?
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thanks again for having me, Kasie. It's always a pleasure to be on your channel.
Yay.
Oh, shout out, Kasie's almost to 1,000 subscribers. So if you like your channel, subscribe. She's almost there. So I am Itutor. I've been working for about 2 years, a bit more than 2 years, and you do your own lessons. That's how it's different than VIPKid or GoGoKid, is that you get to put your lessons together. So in that way, it's like Outschool, except you don't advertise yourself. You get hired by the company. You need a teaching license, and you get paid between $20 and $40 an hour. I get paid about in the middle per hour, and they don't have a specific raise requirement. You just kind of ask, hey, I've been with you a year, can I have a raise? And they're like, sure. Like, okay. So no stringent thing to go through. So I was really happy about that. Where with VIPKid, there's a lot of rules for different stuff that you need to meet. So you get assignments by email, they say, hey, we have this available, and they send it to everybody who has those degrees. So I have like the K through 6 and K through 12 degrees and current licenses in Minnesota. I just keep active. And so they hired me for my master's degree at the time that I was getting. So when they hired me, it's they asked then the group of people, hey, do you want to work for these kids? I mean, do you want to teach these kids in Alaska? And so they have Alaskan project right now that was going on that they have for, I think for 6 years. They have a grant for Alaska. And so that's the main one I've been working with. And so because the time zone works, that my husband can be home in the evening, I can teach for a couple hours these kids in Alaska, and I can teach them for the whole semester. And it's great. It's set up. I know it's every Monday, you know, for the whole semester, or every Monday and Wednesday for the whole semester. And hello. And so I like it. It's a lot of fun. You get to know the kids, and you can have the same group in the spring too. And you have usually 3 to 6 kids in your group, but usually only 2 or 3 show, up to 4. And so, and if nobody comes, you still get paid full price. So that's great too. You teach a mini lesson instead of that full hour for Itutor. Or if you just have half an hour with them, if it's with other kids, then it's you just teach 15 minutes. So I hope that helps.
Good. And if you have questions about itutor.com, make sure you put that in the chat box. So let's see. Well, thanks for coming, guys. I see 11 people are here. Shout out. Oh, Tamara's one of them. Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. And Deborah, Rebecca, and Thomas. Great to have you guys. Thanks for coming. Okay, so let's see. I think you talked about everything I could think of for what I had questions on. All right. And Tess.
Right, well, let me tell you a little bit about Wales. So Wales English is a company that I've been with for about 8 months, and they are growing quite substantially. There's a lot of work at the moment, and we're getting emails saying, oh, would you be able to take on more trials? Can you do this? So it's a good company to be working for at the moment. What as far as requirements are, because obviously they are getting, like I think many companies at the moment, there's loads of people applying for them, or to them even. And so they're quite strict at the moment with their requirements. So if you do want to apply to Wales, please have a look, because if you don't meet them, they won't look at you. But you need to have a bachelor's degree minimum. You need to have a TESOL, TEFL, CELTA. You need to be a native English speaker. And this is really important, from either the USA, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, or Ireland. And they recruit from those 6 places, and that's it. So, you know, I've had people from other areas trying to apply, and it's just, oh, I can't help you, they're super strict. Anyway, so they look for a year's worth of experience. Now, online and bricks and mortar is ideal, but obviously there are other teachers who are joining who've homeschooled or who've got out of sort of the main teaching arena experience, and they're getting hired too. So I work with a lot of referrals on their CVs. You know, I always recommend that, because that's something that a lot of people find is the big hurdle to get into Wales. Is they're again, it's so competitive that if you're not screaming all the important things out immediately, you don't get any further. So that sort of thing is really important. The other thing that they ask for is that you can commit to 8 hours peak time. So that in Beijing is from 7 to 9 p.m. And that's quite an important thing. It's quite unique with Wales, because they have these two things. They have the trial classes, which can be put in on a weekly basis. But then what a lot of the teachers actually join for is the opportunity to teach the regular classes, because they're scheduled over a period of 30 weeks, roughly. So, you know, for some people it's super scary, going, oh, I can't commit to that. And then for others, it's really nice, because you have security of income. You know how much you're going to, once you've got that class on your schedule, you know what you're getting for that particular hour. So for instance, I'm working an average of 24 hours a week for them at the moment. So, you know, I know most of those are regular classes. So I know what I'm going to be earning as a minimum without the bonuses on top. So there is that element to it. And then they're also looking for teachers who inspire. They really do. They want teachers who, you know, were potentially in brick and mortar schools to come and do the same thing online. That's sort of what they're looking for. The pay's great. You get between $18 and $26 an hour. Plus there are bonuses which are definitely achievable. The weekend peak evening hours, you get $5 an hour extra automatically for whether trial or regular classes. Plus you get another $5 if you're teaching a trial class and somebody signs up. So, you know, you can potentially make money. And then if you teach a set number of classes every month, there are more bonuses that you can get. So you can make a decent living at Wales, for sure. For sure.
So Tess, the CV is the resume, right?
Yeah, sorry, that's so British. Yes.
I always ask you, but I remember from last time. So I wanted to point that out to anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah, resume. Absolutely. It's what you have to upload with all your experience and everything else. Resume. Thanks, Kasie. Yeah.
And most of your students are from China as well, right?
Yeah, they're all over in China. And they're all children as well. They don't do adults. So if you're looking for adults, Wales is not going to work. Yeah. They are from about 3 years old to 14, maybe, something like that.
Good. I had one other question, but if I remember it, I'll have to come back to you.
Yeah, there's more I can say about it, but maybe people have questions.
Okay, yeah, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the chat for us. Okay. Yeah, Wales does sound great. Last time you were here, I learned a lot from you too. One thing I do want to say with any company, if you are looking to get into online teaching, find someone. If it's not one of us to use as a referral link, find someone. Send them an email, because a lot of these companies now won't share your email address or your personal information. So send your referral an email so that they can help you get started through the process. I know Tess has been helping people with their resumes, their CVs. I got it. And then I know most of us would reach out and help you too. So you have to let us know though, or else we don't know. I just got a referral yesterday and it just says somebody used your code. I have no idea how I can help this person, but thanks for using my code. If it was you, please let me know.
And one thing I will say about Wales actually is, because I'm part of what they call the Advanced Referral Program. So that's for recruiters, teacher recruiters who sort of have quite a high number of referrals coming through. And it's really great because it means that we've got direct access to the hiring managers. So I've helped people who've had problems maybe with their interview, or a question that needed answering, or issues with identity that I've managed to solve because I've got an inroad there. And it's really helpful. And one of the things they do say on the documents that they share with us is that they look favorably on people using referral codes, because they know they'll be coached. It's quite interesting. I found that out not long ago.
It's true. So, and you can help someone without it costing you anything. So that's give somebody a little bit of help. So
yeah.
Awesome. Good. Hey, Jillian. You're muted. You want to introduce yourself and talk about one of the companies, one of the two you're going to talk about today.
Okay. First, I wanted to back up. I never thought about that, about companies looking favorably on you for using a referral code. I never thought about that. I bet they all do. We just don't know it.
Oh, that's good.
I bet they all do. You think about it, you know? Okay. So which one did you want me to talk about?
Whichever one you want to go first on.
Okay. I will start with Outschool then. I'll talk about Outschool.
Sure.
So I have been working at Outschool. That's my newest company that I've added into my income stream. And it's a lot different than these other companies because it doesn't have, it has residency requirements. It doesn't have native speaker requirements. So a lot of people maybe won't be able to work for some of these other companies because they were not, maybe they grew up in the United States, but they don't have a birth certificate from the United States, or they don't have a passport, so they don't have anything to prove that they grew up in the United States. So it could be helpful for them. Whereas for some teachers, I know a lot of teachers will start working for one of these companies and move to Thailand. They cannot work for Outschool. So you have to live in the United States, the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
One of those countries. And it's only because of the background checks.
Yeah.
So Outschool is a little different because you're not getting curriculum to give to people, or you're not given the curriculum to teach. You are hired and you submit your classes. And once you submit your classes, you create the classes. You can teach anything from English and math to farts, which is actually a legitimate class that is popular on the Outschool platform. So, yes, I said F-A-R-T. I am not kidding. That is one of the most popular classes on there.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. Go look it up. Go look it up. This class, I think I figured it out. That teacher has made thousands of dollars. I'd have to go back and look, but she had made thousands of dollars off of a class where she taught about farts.
Okay, I'm curious now.
Yes, I mean it's
hilarious.
Yes, you can literally teach anything that you want to on Outschool. There are some exceptions. If it's a sensitive topic, you have to be like certified for that area. And if you
Sorry.
okay. And if you you can't teach like religion, as in like religion education, like you can't teach religion unless you're teaching like the history of religion or something.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some, you can't have like religious classes, put it that way.
Right.
Okay, here we go. So this class, I want to show you it here. This class was completed by 2,194 learners. So at $12 a class, so 2,194 people times $12 a class, that's $26,328. Now, Outschool does take 30%. So we'll multiply that by 70% to get her take home. She has made $18,429 on teaching about farting.
Nice.
So you set your prices, you set your schedule. Right. So if you have a passion, even if it's something that's completely off the wall,
wow,
go for it.
Candy wrote breaking wind and it just cracked me up.
What was that?
Candy wrote in the chat box breaking wind and it just cracked me up.
Yeah. I think I covered the base.
You set your own hours. You set your pay.
You set your pay. They advertise for you.
Yep, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yep. So that 30% that you're giving them, or that they're taking from you off all your classes, they're using that, and just think of it as like it's your investment into like Facebook ads and Instagram ads and all of that.
Yeah.
You set the number of students and the ages that you want to teach. So if you're not comfortable teaching 18-year-olds, whereas a lot of these companies that you go to, you teach who they give you.
Yeah.
But if you're not comfortable teaching 3-year-olds or whatever, don't teach 3-year-olds. If you don't want to teach, yes, she just woke up.
So we have a question in the chat. So is there an equivalent of a bachelor's that would be acceptable? A college diploma with years of experience?
Are you talking about Outschool?
I came for Wales. That was there when Kasie was finishing up.
Okay.
For Wales, they require a bachelor's minimum, and it's because the Chinese government require a bachelor's minimum to teach yourself. That's the reason why.
I always wondered how Palfish got away with that. They're a company from China, right, Jillian?
That's actually not a Chinese law.
Yeah, we've got paperwork on it.
It was the Chinese government that had said that is requiring bachelor's degrees.
They have not as of yet.
They require like the TESOL or TEFL.
Yes.
but I don't think they don't require.
What? Okay, this is what happened.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
Yeah.
So they released in, oh goodness, it was
I'll
in
have to have a look at-
2019. The Chinese Ministry of Education released a statement
one.
saying that they were going to require teacher certifications. Now, this huge thing went out on Palfish, or I'm sorry, on Facebook and on social media and all over the internet with this thing, and it was translated from Google Translate. Anyone who has ever worked with the Chinese students and used Google Translate knows that even though it is great, it is not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
So the word that was meant for certification, TESOL certification, translated to degree. So they don't require a degree. They do not require a degree. It was mistranslated on so many different forums that is a huge misconception. A lot of companies choose to require a degree, but it is not required. It's just an extra step. Like, Wales wants to make sure that they can advertise that they have teachers with 4-year certifications.
Yeah.
So that's why they require it.
Yeah, Joanne, we'll have to look that up for you. I'm not sure. She teaches for Palfish already, so she's looking for anyone else in our group here. VIPKid, you need a bachelor's. Wales, you need a bachelor's. What about itutor.com?
Itutor, you need a teaching degree. I mean, you need to have a current license. So not just a teaching degree, but also current license. So unfortunately, a bunch of people that, qualified can't teach unless they have a license, just because they work with the public schools directly.
And Tamara, what about Splashlearn?
You don't need a teaching certificate or a bachelor's, no, but you do need experience. They're looking for experience. So.
And Joanne has experience. And Melissa, what about GoGoKid? She knew she was up next.
You do need a bachelor's degree for a GoGoKid.
Okay. All right. So Jillian, if we have any other questions about Outschool, we'll let you know if they come up in here.
Okay. In Outschool, you don't need a degree either. I don't know if I said that.
That's right. So Joanne, depending on where you live, you might want to look into, she's looking into European companies. We'll have to research more European companies. I've been reaching out to others. Tess has seen me in the groups looking for more companies to come on my channel. If you guys know of anybody, send them my way. I'd love to learn about more companies, but I haven't heard of any other ones. Do you guys have any other knowledge of any European ones that don't need a bachelor's? I don't know, Joanne. We'll try to find something for you though. Okay, Tamara, you're next.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me, Kasie. It's always nice to be here with you. So now that everybody's thinking about farting, we're going to move on to math. I'm sure it goes together, right? I don't know. But I work for Splashlearn. I teach for Splashlearn. I don't work for them, but independent contractor. And they are an app. Some of you may have heard of Splash Math as an app. It's been around since 2010. They say that like 1 in 7 schools in the US use this app in their classrooms. And it's one of the first to help with Common Core and help reinforce some of the things that the kids learn with Common Core math. In February is when I started with Splashlearn, and our first classes came in March. So they hired 3 of us actually to start the live teaching or tutoring. And it's all Common Core math. They want you to have at least 1 year of experience teaching, tutoring, substitute teaching, anything with Common Core math. And then also 200 live online classes, which can be any platform, any form of classes, whatever that you've taught somebody online. So those are the 2 requirements. Again, they've only been around since March. You make pays between $20 and $25, but starting out, you'll likely be closer to $20 per class. And a class is between 45 minutes to an hour. So the classes are blocked for 1 hour, but you need to teach at least 45 minutes of that hour. Some of the classes go quicker, but you do need to get up to that 45-minute mark. But most of them, you'll you'll be an hour. They're pretty intense. But the classes, they really start from the ground up. They teach Common Core math from the basics to really try to get the kids to understand the curriculum and math, basically. So you do have to be comfortable with math. They give, most of the communication is done via email. They assign you, they book for you. As the kids book a class, then they'll assign you that class. And they have, like I said, they have this app that has over 30 million users on it. So there is a huge group just on that app of kids that a lot of them want to take the online classes. They only have about 80 teachers right now, 80 to 85 teachers. So they're hiring like crazy, but they do want quality. They want you to be comfortable teaching online. They want you to be comfortable teaching math to kids. The ages range from kindergarten through 5th grade. So you're not looking at high level math. It's, fractions, decimals, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that kind of stuff. All of the kids are in the United States. So you're working US hours. Pacific time, it's 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific. The East Coast is 10:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Pacific time. So it's daytime hours. For those of you at ESL companies, you can either still teach for your ESL company or you can sleep in if you decide to take this route. But yeah, they are growing like crazy. And they assign you, they don't just assign you a class, they assign you a batch. So a batch is a group of classes that are you'll teach the same students between 4 and 40 times. So there's these review classes, or you want to get ahead in your class. They're 30 to 40 days, Monday through Friday. You'll see these kids every day for 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. And then there's smaller batches that are between, I guess, a week and a half and 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I think is the longest there. But they, so you'll be assigned a batch, you'll do this batch every time. And then when you're done, then you say your goodbyes. And hopefully the kids will sign up with you again. But if they don't, it doesn't really impact you, because there's so many kids signing up for classes right now that they have plenty to go around. So I think I went through it. They provide all of the curriculum. All of the curriculum is done for via Google Slides, and then you teach on Zoom. So you do need to be comfortable with Zoom as well before your mock class. And the hiring process is that you book a pre-discussion. The pre-discussion is so they can actually ask you your experience, because it's hard, I guess you could lie on your application, but it's hard to lie face-to-face, I guess. So they do ask you to make sure that you have your experience. And also they tell you a little bit about the company. So that's the pre-discussion. And then after the pre-discussion, if you've met their experience requirements, then they'll invite you to a mock class. And the mock class is no small talk. You just show up, do your class, and then say goodbyes, and you're done. And that's the whole hiring process. You have a pre-discussion to ask your experience, tell you about the company, answer any questions you have, and then you have your mock class, and then you're either hired, or if you're not hired, you can always apply again. There's nothing that says that it's a one-time deal. So.
And everyone's referral links should be below. If I've missed anybody, let me know.
Yes, my referral is just my name, Tamara. So if you go to courses.splashlearn.com, then my referral is Tamara. But yeah. Others are
below. I remember yours was below. Oh, Rebecca, how cute.
Teacher Kasie, yay.
Her daughter watches my Palfish videos, so that's super
sweet. That's so fun. I love it.
I remember when Tamara first started talking about Splashlearn, I was like, I don't want to tell them that I have a master's in teaching mathematics, because I don't want them to give me high level math.
Oh man, no, it's just K through 5.
She told me K through 5, and I was like, well, maybe. So
I love it. Oh man, it's so fun.
I love math, but
yeah. And it's, you know, it's so different. So I do still teach for VIPKid. I still have my VIPKid schedule. I teach maybe 2.5, 3 hours a morning. But then I go to Splashlearn, and it's a completely different environment. It's a different teaching, you know. So even though it's still online, it's so different. I don't feel like I'm like, oh, more classes or anything, because it just is a whole different feel and everything. So it's wonderful. And I would love to coach you through the process. If you're not comfortable with Zoom, or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we have a Facebook group too, Splashlearn Q&A hiring. So feel free to reach out there. We're trying to be very helpful to answer your questions.
I don't know if that's on here.
I don't know either.
Your referral is on here, and your Zebra English, but not that. So maybe we'll add that later.
Okay, yeah, Zebra English, I think they're still on their hiring freeze, so unfortunately. You can apply, but you won't make it, as far as I know.
Questions, when they open up again, Tam will be happy to help you.
I'm happy to help you, right.
Okay, Melissa, thanks for waiting. Sorry.
No problem. No
We're
problem.
gonna give the newbie some time.
Yeah. I started with GoGoKid. I went through the hiring process in February of 2020, and I think my official contract date was March 1st. So that was the day that I signed it. I did send a ticket to them to get the exact hiring requirements, because I didn't think they were super clear on their website. And so they sent me 4 official requirements, which were a bachelor's degree or above, at least 1 year teaching experience with children. And I don't believe that doesn't need to be formal classroom experience. Have the legal ability to work in the USA or Canada. And the last one is an ESL certification. It can be TESOL, TEFL, or CELTA. It kind of surprised me that they didn't put native English speaker as one of their official requirements, but they did not list it in my ticket when I asked them. But when you go through the hiring process, I do think it's something they're going to consider. So there are four basic steps when you apply. You're going to fill out some basic information, and then you're going to have an interview. It could be a live interview or a recorded interview. And when I did it in February, I didn't know which one it was going to be. You just log on, and it's kind of random. So I got the recorded interview, and I have a whole YouTube video of my real interview on my YouTube channel. So after you pass your interview, then you will have some quizzes that you take. You like watch a video and answer some questions about it, and you do your mock. For my mock, I knew it was going to be recorded beforehand, because there was a button and it told me enter your recorded mock here. So that one I knew, so it wasn't so much of a surprise. After you pass your mock, you're going to do your paperwork and your contract, setting up your profile. For the pay, $7 to $10 base pay per class. You're going to teach 25-minute classes. You don't need to plan anything. The classes are planned for you, and they are on Beijing time. So your hours are going to be based around China's time. And get some bonuses. So they advertise $14 to $25 an hour, because you can get some incentive bonuses. They have $5 trial bonus. They have $105 referral bonus right now. Milestone bonuses are still listed in their referral section. And they also have a credit score system. It's kind of really complicated, but basically the more classes that you teach and the more 5-star feedback you get, the higher credit score you have. There are 5 credit score levels right now. And so level 1 and level 2, you're only getting your base pay, but once you get to level 3, you start earning incentives.
Great. Trying to think. I was thinking of it. See, I keep getting these questions, and I have a pencil right here. I just need to write them down. So you do need a TESOL or a TEFL or the, what'd you say, CELTA?
Yes. You do. And I used mine from VIPKid. I didn't actually have to get a separate one. They accepted the one I already had.
I heard quite a few companies accept the one from VIPKid. I do want to say that I got an email this morning from the International Open Academy, where you can get your TESOL and TEFL, and they're doing a deal right now. If you use my code or someone else's code, it's $15 or 15 where you're at. So take a look at that if that's something you need. I think probably a bunch of us might have those codes, but mine is below, and if anybody wants me to add theirs, I can add theirs later. So
Kasie, can I just add, I know for a fact somebody tried with you've just made me think about that, Melissa, but Wales, for instance, doesn't accept any of the VIPKid. So they have to be independent ones. So okay. I'll add that one in there for anyone who's wondering.
So do you have the code, Tess?
I should have, but I don't. They've said, oh, we're going to ask. I said, yeah, fine, send it along, but I haven't received it yet.
Melissa, was that the first code or this latest code? Because I think the first one that they did was a VIPKid specific TESOL.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then now they've done like a full-on TEFL, I think, and that should be accepted at all the companies. But the first one, it hasn't been accepted at a lot because that was just strictly VIPKid.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That one Wales won't take.
Once you pass the VIPKid one, if you pay the $79, then it is from that outside third party, I believe. And that's how you get the actual number and things. So yeah,
I used the original TESOL, whichever one you want to call it. I didn't pay anything for it. I used the VIPKid one. When I went in my portal, I downloaded it. It had a number on it, and it didn't say VIPKid anywhere. So I'm not even sure how they would really be able to tell.
Right.
I don't know, because one of my referrals sort of sent in a VIPKid one, and it did say somewhere, I think, VIPKid, but it was definitely refused by Wales. I don't know how they knew, but they said, or maybe it was a question that the referral asked me and I asked Wales, but they did say no. They did say no.
This is kind of interesting, but I actually have mine up because I was just looking it up before this. Yeah. It says TESOL International Association. It does not say VIPKid on it. I have the actual certificate up.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from, but I know, and I've heard that in the referral group that I'm part of, that they don't take it. But you're right. If it isn't branded, I don't know how they know.
They're calling themselves out.
There's some homework for me to do. I'm going to go exploring, try and find out why and how.
Real quick, I think the ones that they didn't take might have been the old ones, because VIPKid, they changed. They used to not give you any certificate number or any information about it. It was all internally, and you never even got a certificate. So that might be the one that they're talking about that they don't take.
Yeah. Could be, Jillian. Yeah, I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah, let me know.
Anyway.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else, Melissa, that we didn't talk about? Oh, is there a minimum requirement for hours there?
No minimum requirement.
However, at Splashlearn there is, and I forgot to mention that. You do need to be available 10 hours a week. Available. That doesn't mean you're going to teach 10 hours a week, but they are booking a lot of classes, so you probably will be close to that based on your availability. But yeah, you do need 10 hours a week availability.
Good. And my platform, I'll go next, and then Jillian can talk about Palfish. My platform is VIPKid. Right now, it's the only company I teach for. It's kind of an older, more established platform than some of the upcoming ones, but I don't know, they seem to be upcoming very fast. They seem to be getting pretty big very fast. I do like that there are no lesson plans. VIPKid has them made for you. And being a brick and mortar teacher, it was kind of nice to have a year of no lesson plans. The times are great and not great. So it all depends on how you look at it, right? If you have another job during the day and you want some hours before work or in the evenings, it might be great for you. If you are looking for something for nights, it might be great for you. But if you're a sleeper and you want to sleep in the middle of the night, it might not be so great for you. So I've talked about VIPKid on many of these lives, so I won't get into much. Unless anyone has questions for me, please put them in the chat box. My referral links below, my email, so you can also reach out to me that way. And yeah, I'll let everyone else go because everyone's heard my spiel of VIPKid. So, all right, Jillian, you want to talk about Palfish?
Sure. Okay. Palfish is another company that does not require a bachelor's degree, which we already talked about. They do require that you have residency in the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand. I listed them all. And then there's a special program for Filipino teachers.
Oh, that's right.
So I believe I listed them all. So it's one of the only programs that offers a program for Filipino teachers to work in. So if your nationality is Filipino, they do have that. I do believe there is a hiring freeze right now on the Filipino program. The Filipino program, if you are Filipino and you're watching this and you ever have seen my YouTube channel and you've watched anything on Palfish, it may not apply to. That program is different. It has different rates of pay because they charge differently from it. The Filipino program is for students.
Oops.
She's got water. She just went to put it up on my desk.
Oh no.
Dumped it all over her head. Yeah, it's funny, right? The Filipino program is for students who are from like tier 2 and 3 cities that would not normally be able to afford something as expensive as like Palfish or VIPKid. So it's meant for lower financial status families. So they charge less, so they have to pay less. And nope. That's very expensive. Okay. Okay. So the regular you are paid on level, like on your level. So depending on what level you are, you come in, you are paid in Chinese currency. So you have to do the exchange rate. Currently the top exchange rate is about $21 an hour. I'm like juggling over here every time I take.
That's why you teach online in the middle of the night, right? When she's sleeping. That's why mom.
Yeah, but she's a little more tired. Yeah, but she's a little more tired. She has my diaper on right now. But say hi. She's like, nope. She's like, nope. I want your drink that I'm not allowed to have. She wants my drink, my expensive camera, my iPad, anything that she can't have. So you start at 55 RMB per class, and your top pay is 75 RMB per class. And that's it. There is an attendance bonus, but as far as that's not a per class thing. So that's your base rate is basically your rate, and it resets every month. And so your points you get from the classes that you teach, basically. So there are other ways that you can get points, but they're basically coming in from the classes that you teach.
Great.
Level. You do need a TESOL, TEFL, CELTA, or a teaching license. And you do have to work Beijing hours.
We can't hear you.
Bad timing,
Rachel. I think
yeah, this is just really bad timing because she sleeps from like 1 to 3, so she just woke up.
Well, I think you covered most of the basics for Palfish. So, and again, if you have questions, put them in the chat. If this live is done, you can put them in the comment section. Really, it's easier if you email them, though. I keep like sending everybody like screenshots of people posting. I think I did that for Tamara the other day. Someone's like, how do I get a hold of her? So if their email is in the description box, try to email them that way. If you can't get a hold of them, then message me. So. Any last minute thoughts, Jillian, on Palfish before we go? I think you're muted. Well, in that case, we will let you go.
All right. Yeah, you think it's funny. She's like, I'm just gonna strangle myself with with your headphones then. All right, bye everyone. If you do have any other questions, you can find me on my YouTube channel or shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to answer them for either Outschool or Palfish.
Bye.
All right, bye.
And her website is in the description box below as well. So if you want to go to her website, she does coaching calls and everything. Before I got to know her, I actually paid for some of her coaching calls, and she does some website designs and a lot of different things. So, all right. Any last minute thoughts from you guys before we finish up here?
A lot of fun.
I just suddenly realized something I didn't really cover was the content of classes and stuff like that. So maybe I'll just briefly outline that. Sure. Because having listened to everyone, I went, oh, I forgot to sit down. Oh, I forgot to sit down.
I started writing a list down of things. So I'm like,
what has she forgotten? Anyway, so the lessons at Wales are either 25 minutes or 50 minutes long. Okay, the 25 minutes are only with beginner classes. So they are what we call the English starter classes, and they do the Bob books, which are absolutely brilliant and super satisfying to teach, because you really do take these little 3-year-olds from learning the alphabet and sounds and the basic phonics all the way up to starting to read. It's fantastic. And then all the other classes are all 50 minutes, and they are from pre-K all the way up to grade 4, 5 even. Quite high level English, and they use Oxford Learning Tree in general and the National Geographic Reach curriculum. So it's a really nice curriculum to teach. We don't plan anything. Well, we don't plan. We plan our lessons. We need to know what we're teaching, obviously, but everything is given to us. So we don't need to actually make the lessons ourselves. So they're really good fun to teach. I love them. So yeah, a bit of information of how long and what we teach.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know, as you sit here listening, everyone's like, oops, I gotta write this.
Yeah. Don't put me first because I'll forget something.
I think, can you think of anything else, Melissa, Tamara, that we didn't cover? I don't see any more questions in the chat, so I think we did a pretty good job, guys.
I know there's a lot of questions about Splashlearn out there. A lot of people have reached out to me asking a lot of questions. There's not a lot of information because it's so new, but I'm working on it slowly but surely. And Splashlearn is actually helping me as well with videos and different things. So expect a lot of content in the future, in the near future, but in the meantime, definitely reach out, eTeacherTamara@gmail or Facebook. But we're happy to help. Everybody's happy to help. It's just not a lot of information yet.
Good. And Tess, you want to shout out your website? Is it up and running?
Almost. It's getting there. Can you, my nemesis? Honestly, it's like, look, it's there.
A lot of work.
Yeah, finish me. But no, the best thing to do is to reach me, teachwithtess@gmail.com, which I think is in your description box. My YouTube channel, Teach with Tess, there's a lot of information about Wales. I've got a walk through the demo class, how to annotate on Zoom, all sorts of stuff. So there's quite a lot for people who are wanting to go through the interview process. So
yeah, your last Zoom video was great.
Honestly, it was like one of those frequently asked questions from my referrals. You know, it's like, I'm sure you've seen it, Tamara. It's like, oh, I've got to teach on, where's the annotation and what do I do? And it's it's not the stress you need when you're trying to teach a demo class.
And Melissa, how can people reach out to you if they want to talk to you about GoGoKid, your GoGoKid, VIPKid,
and Outschool?
And Outschool. How can they find you?
Yes. My email is melissamills@rocketmail.com. And I also have a website, melissamillsonline.com.
Okay, that's what I have.
Of course, I have a YouTube channel. It's just under my name, Melissa Mills.
And that's on there too. So we've got you covered. Great. And I have a website as well. My husband does it all for me. So sorry, Dad.
Kasie, can I borrow your husband?
He's been asked, someone asked him if they could pay, and he's like, no way, it's too much work. It's teachingwithkasie.com, and my email is kasie.oswald@gmail.com. So thanks for coming, everybody, and thank you all on the panel. I appreciate you coming out and chatting.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us, Kasie.
Yes, it's
Great
always fun.
fun.
Thank you.
You guys